Okay guys, we're going to check on our barley the last time before I throw it out. This one here's the first one. It was cut April the 9th. And we had rain the night of the 10th and all day the 11th and the night of the 11th. We had rain for about 48 hours. And I want you to look at what's happening here. As we expected, this has begun to shatter. And we call it shattering when those grain heads start dropping those seeds. That's a seed right there. That's a seed right there. That's called shattering. You come up here and you can look and you can see that the top of that has fallen out. That's because it is too ripe. Okay. Let me pull that back a little bit. That's too ripe. Too ripe for harvest. Now, check it. And you're going to see that, and as these grains dry, they really hug the husk. That's no longer divisible. Plenty of starch in there. It's no longer divisible. This is what the other group calls a Beebe, their modern understanding, that the King James calls a green ear. And there's nothing green about that. Okay, and you can see it shattering. And what happens when we cut it with a sickle? The violence of the sickle. Do you see those dropping? In my opinion, you're going to lose most of your harvest right there on the ground like it is. All right. This next little batch, it was cut the morning of the... Let me get my paper. I dropped it. Here we go. It was cut the morning of the 10th. And then it rained the night of the 10th, it rained the 11th, and it rained the night of the 11th. So it had quite a bit of rain as well. And I'll bet you that when we check this, we're going to find out it's in the dough stage. So let's check one. Let's check one up here, still hanging first, and then we'll check one on the ground, because if they're on the ground, they're riper than this stuff up here. That's how it happens. The ripest greens fall out first. Okay. So that's definitely a dough stage. And that's what happened with our other barley. When it reached the dough stage, it started dropping this year. Let's check one of these that fell. Remember that these were in worm. You could squeeze them and it come out with a lot of water and look like a little worm. Well, he's approaching a Beebe. He's not, there he is. Yeah, he did divide on the backside. That was the husk that kept him from dividing. He's dough. He's good dough. He's not squeezing out. Okay, so I'm satisfied. The only thing I have to do now is I have to make sure that this will make a plant. So I'm going to be saving some of these and planting them, the seeds, the grains, and planting them in a pot with new potting soil, and sitting it out, not touching it, treating it just like the wild barley, sitting it out all the rainy season and the cold this year, and next spring we'll see if this comes up. I'm also going to do that with some of these oats here and show you, and do a little bit with the wheat this year and show you that they all do come up at the same time. They all look like grass when they come up. We'll take a look at the wheat over here before I stop the video. Got a fly crawling. There you go. You can see that it's starting to turn golden overall. The stalks and the blades are starting to turn